What's up? What's up, my good people? And welcome to the press box with C Will. My name is C Will, and today I'm going live and uncut again with no script. And I wanted to discuss Sam Pittman's Wednesday's press conference. Um, I don't know if you guys have saw his press conference for today, um, but it was interesting hearing him speak about the Hogs preparation. And I think that it's key, it's a key thing that they do that. So to hear Coach say that the guys are going to be ready and focused because he sees the level of focus, the level of attention to detail, and the level of intensity. Guys were hitting each other, laying each other out. That's what Coach Pittman said today. He said in Tuesdays and Mondays practice, guys were laying each other out because he wanted to put a focus on wrapping up because the last game we had issues, making tackles. So when your guys are struggling doing, things that cost you games, you take things to the basics, back to the basics. So it sounds like that um, that's exactly what the coaching staff decided to do with the team, and they took them to fall camp again, which I think that they need that. They need to be as sharp as they could be because the competition definitely increases starting this week, and it's only going to get harder and harder with LSU the next game, and then after that Texas A&M, then Alabama. So it's kind of like we have to, start seeing it. It's time to start running KJ Jefferson a little bit more, a lot more, I should say, because you have to use his legs. I mean, I like his arm, but he have to have the threat of the feet to make the arm work. So I'd like to see more running plays, design runs for KJ Jefferson to kind of help offset the loss of Rocket Sanders for this week. So that'll make 2 weeks in a row for Rocket. Hopefully he won't be out too much longer. I believe he had experienced some swelling. So Coach Pittman and his staff just wants to, uh, just kind of just monitor it, make sure that the swelling goes down, and hopefully you can start looking at a timetable after this week. But um, definitely KJ has to be more involved running the ball. We know that our line has to block better, and according to what Coach Pittman said, he said that um, that they did hands-on teaching about technique and finding the right fits in order for his linemen to make the right blocks. He said that they wasn't getting the right fits. So that sound like well, I know that that's a technical thing. And these guys are, we have some experience, but a lot of guys don't have a lot of experience. So, we just got to iron out the kinks and everything. And, but if nothing else, I mean, just dominate, just be mad. I love to see our line just get mad and just move bodies because with the size that we got, we should be able to do that. So it's clear that the first few games of the season that the team knew that they were going to win. It's just sometimes when you see teams on the schedule, you just know you're going to win. And as a competitor, and me being a former competitor, a former athlete, you never want to get that feeling. You always have to respect your opponent because if you don't, it's going to affect your performance. And I think that we showed dominance against Western Carolina, 21 points in the first quarter. Then we kind of went on cruise control because we were up by so much. Last week we didn't see it because I think after blowing out FCS and you're playing one of the worst teams in FBS, even though they played us well, but with the turnover that Kent State had in terms of players not being with the team this year that were on the team last year, it was really not fair. So the game shouldn't have been that close. Like if the Hogs had that game circled, I know for a fact that that game would not have been as close as it was. They was favored to win by 38. So uh, Vegas knew that um, you know that we were so much better, and I think that the team knew it. And if the team knows that they're better, then you're going to get performances like last week, just lackadaisical, lackluster, and But the good news is that when these other teams look at film, we haven't shown them anything. We haven't really got any explosive runs, so we haven't shown anything. So that could be good moving forward into the competition because what do they have to go on? So, I try to see the things as half full sometimes. It's easy to see the glass as half empty, but when you start getting into conference play, teams are going to just look at your film and what you've shown. That's what they're going to game plan for. So that's what I mean. That it could end out being good because we know that we can run the ball. I mean, that's got the personnel. Pittman is a run blocking coordinator slash coach. Uh, so we know we can run. We just, like I said, it just all has to come together. Uh, but playing BYU last year, we did beat them on their field. This year, I'm quite sure they have a little bit of revenge on their mind. And they're not the same team. They have a transfer quarterback. He's played about 4 or 5 years, so he's very experienced. He played at USC and Pittsburgh. His name is Slovis. So they got experienced guys and they got good receivers. So um, it'd be a nice challenge for our defense. Um, but I believe their offensive line is pretty good too. So I think offensively BYU was solid. I think their defense is kind of like the question mark about them. So yeah, should be interesting to see uh, how we fare against them on both sides of the ball. BYU went 8-5 last year, even though we beat them and we went 6-7. They went 8-5, and over the last 3 years, they've won an average of 8 games every year. So this is a big game, and I think the guys know that. Coach Pittman said throughout their meetings, guys were paying attention. Normally, the coaching staff have to make guys do things, to prepare. He said guys were already doing it. They were taking it back to basics and the intensity was there. So um, I just feel like that this is really opening day for the team, even though they had 2 games. This is where it starts. In my opinion, this is the biggest game of Coach Pittman's tenure. Why? Because, there are going to be bigger games than this, but up to this point, this is the biggest game because the way that the schedule was set up, we have 4 games, 5 games that's away from home. So if we don't show that we can beat BYU at home, you got LSU on the road, you got A&M in Arlington, and even though A&M is inconsistent, but they still are consistently beating Arkansas. So that'll be hard. Then you gotta go to Tuscaloosa. You see what I'm saying? So and then Florida is not great right now, but if you can't beat BYU at your, in your building, how are you going to go on the road in any SEC facility with a team that's going to play and be competitive and actually feel like you can win? That's why I say it's a big deal to win this game. Because if you don't win this game, if we don't win this game, based on how the team has been performing, struggling, and we still struggle to run, well, all everybody's going to point fingers to Sam Pittman because he made the hire for Dan Enos. And he's the guy that's calling plays, and he's the guy that has the pressure on to bring things together. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't, that falls back on Coach Pittman. And coming off of a 6-7 season last year, and after having 9 wins and so much expectation, a loss here will be detrimental. wouldn't only be detrimental, but I think it would definitely have the negative Nancy's in fans, you know, basically, being negative and saying that we need a new coach. And once that talk starts, it's never good, So um hopefully we can just avoid that situation all in one and just come out ready to play. For some reason we've been struggling with teams that's out of conference in Fayetteville. We've been struggling. Missouri State last year should have beat us in Fayetteville. Liberty beat us in Fayetteville. So we don't. I don't know what it is, but we don't dominate the way that we need to at home. Um, I guess that's when you look at the great fans up there and the facilities and the environment. Sometimes you get lost in it. I know when I'm there watching the games, it's like I get lost in it because it's such a wonderful place to play at. But at the same time, these guys gotta get used to that. You are ball players. You play on the stage, and we just have to bring our best, and we have to come out from the start. We come out from the start like we did against Western Carolina, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. This is BYU's first true road game, and then we can put the pressure on them earlier. You'll have them playing from behind, and it's tough to play from behind when you in a hostile environment, as we know that Fayetteville Razorback Stadium is. So we know if we come out with the right focus and jump out on them, it's going to be a hard day. So I still feel like that we're going to win this game. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about Coach Pittman. It was good to hear him say that his team looks ready and it's just Wednesday. Because I know last week he said Tuesday's practice of last week was bad. And I believe Coach, when he speaks, he says what he means. He's not one of the coaches that's going to hide behind. No, he says what he means. And last week he said that Tuesday practice didn't start off right. Well, look at how they played. So if he says that this week practice started out good, then I believe him. And I trust that the Hogs will be ready to play. And we'll be ready to go 3-0 as they defeat BYU. So I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, but I wanted to speak about Coach Pittman's press conference in case you guys haven't seen it. And like I always say, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. In the comments. I'm looking for people that I can talk sports to. I don't want to just be. I mean, I will talk about myself, but I didn't create this channel. Just for me to talk. So if you have something to add to it, let's bring it. And we'll go from there. But definitely subscribe to the Press Box. My name is C. Will, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for sitting around and listening to what I had to say. So until the next time, take care of yourself and be safe.